So, as you can see, we have finally cleared out one bay of the garage. We're just about done with the truck project, but that means this puppy here is about to come inside and we're gonna split her in half. So it's actually pretty easy to do, believe it or not. But anyways, stay tuned. We're gonna get working on this thing. Just so you don't think I'm a total pig, the reason this thing is such a mess is the last thing we worked on in here was my Can-Am Commander. Here, I can show that to you real quick. But when it came in to get a little help, it was caked with about 3 inches of mud. And the leaves have obviously just blown in from us going in and out the door, but this is all the residual junk that just fell off it as we were working. Kind of one sidebar, but I love these just because whenever you do a project and you're cleaning up, it's just always nice to get one of these magnets and kind of just give the pile a poke. You'd be amazed how many times you have dropped nuts and washers, but more importantly, could be a socket or a drill bit. Like for instance, I just heard something go click there. I don't know what it was. But yeah, this just doing this once before you throw it all in the trash is actually saved me a lot of tools over. As you can see, I got my driver on board because we're gonna have to do a wee bit of pushing. So I'll probably fast forward through this part, but as you can guess, the reason we're pushing is because while it starts and runs, it does not go. So don't turn that key, Annabeth. Hold on, hold still. We got a little bit more to go, okay? You straighten the wheel out?
Yeah. Just the key.
All right. That is perfect. Give you some perspective. I'm going to show you how I block this up. This is me personally. Everybody has a different opinion, but get down here all the way so I can show you. I support the rear on something rolly, which we'll get into that later. It's really easy balance. The rear doesn't weigh anything. And then something pretty stable for the front. Just to kind of give you an idea why I do this. Once we get this apart, I want a space right up here where I can set a jack stand to support this, kind of for safety. That's just me personally. That's why I set the jack a little bit further back. And obviously, I mean, you don't want to set it on the drain hole, but just to give you a little perspective on why I do that. Just kind of a first step. You got just two They're both 5/8. Well, some of them have been changed over time. Take the 2 bolts off and drop your foot pads down. I use the new greatest tool ever invented in the history of forever. And as luck would have it, the rest of these, some are 5/8, some aren't. Okay, well, actually I stand corrected. Just that one is. Please pause. Okay, back this time with the right nut. Now, I did skip an important part. I actually drained the fluid out of this. And if you look and see, I'm wearing exceptionally nasty clothes. The reason for that, fundamentally, is I can't stand mineral oil. You can just let those fall. Remember, it's like basically this and a couple other things is all you need to do, and then undo these bolts. So, took the cotter pin out of this. I don't know if I could do this one-handed and hold it. It comes out pretty easy. Of course I can't. But basically, we're just undoing these 2 little pins here. Dadgum exhaust is like perfectly in the way. All right, time out. So, I had to get serious here. Now it requires the adjustment. The actual adjustment of my wrench too. There we go. So, as you can see, the cotter pin had fallen out of that one. Now, the other side is going to be a little bit more interesting because I, in my infinite wisdom, decided to put a nice lock nut on there with poly bushings last time I had it apart. And as cool as that is, quite frankly, it's just a lot easier to take a cotter pin out. Now, for the record, there's pretty much no way to do this one-handed, but you get it. Yeah, so I kind of complicated my own life last time, but what do you know? It worked. It's beautiful. All right, so that's out. Now, let's pull this puppy apart. So, I mean, these are pretty easy to take off. Candidly, just these top ones here are a little tight as far as access. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, obviously, but so when I take them off, I put them in a little holder, kind of starting right here, going around in the order I took them off. A couple of these don't have nuts on the back of them. Obviously, I saved those till last. And that's it. So I'm going to kind of just wheel on these a little bit. Obviously, use the trusty dusty DeWalt for most of it. It's just hard to get in. I guess I could take the top cover off there. It's pretty simple, but I just didn't feel like bothering with it.
Go, Daddy.
Watch out, babe.
That's got a problem.
It's okay, honey. No, 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 no. Come here.
So well,
Hold my hand.
you dropped something.
Hey,
Daddy, you dropped something. Yes.
Well, as you can see, I just took the last bolts out, and as an experiment, I kind of put my butt on the back tire, and my feet on the front tire just to see, and I don't know why I did this. This is the second time I've actually done the same thing. See how hard this thing was going to be to come apart, and it just went and popped right apart. So, we'll get some video going here, but everything fell to where it was supposed to be, like normal, except the mineral oil that I was desperately trying not to get all over the place. Normally, at least last time I did this, you kind of took the bolts out and a little bit of seepage started, and then you put a pan underneath there, which is why this was on rollers at that time. Put a pan underneath there for like an hour to catch it, but it I don't know, outsmarted me, I guess. All right, it's actually coming apart pretty nice so far. Kind of my method, if you will. So, something I forgot. This is apart, but it won't come all the way apart. So I'm going to pull off the inspection covers on the side. Forgot this has a Sherman transmission, and I think I might pull the PTO shaft, but this should just slide. So, for the record, I'm not going to leave this like this because you know that'll end up getting bounced around and I'll lose all that stuff. So, I'm just putting these right here. And I don't think you have to pull the PTO shaft. It takes a little bit of finesse. All right, I think we're pretty free. So we're just gonna kind of gently roll this rear back here. Make sure we're not hanging up on anything. Okay. So there we go. We are apart. It's going to be kind of an awesome tractor diagnosis, but our drive shaft has sheared right off where there was a repair. So, like, the end of that, you can see, has been drilled and cored, and it has sheared. All right, I want to give you more of a miracle. So as you can see, that is repaired, and believe it or not, this puppy walked right out of there. So that has split right at the weld. Crazy. All right, well, to the machine shop with that.